Joined now by reporter John Kipper, who is looking at concussions. He's doing this series all week long. He's here to talk about this most recent story about parents letting their kids play. Now, I've talked to football parents in the past and gotten the sense, did you get the sense that some of them feel this is a little overblown, in fact?
Yeah, you definitely do. And, you know, some are certainly worried about this. You just saw the one parent that had to make the compromise with his wife to buy a nicer helmet in order to put their kid in third grade. And some are completely the opposite, though. One guy told me that he thinks flag football is actually more dangerous because there's no protection at all. Kids could bang heads. And the league director actually told me he thinks the hype on concussions is a little bit out of control, but that they still take them very, very seriously, that they're not going to mess around. So you get a wide spectrum of parents and just people within the league saying different things on it.
And now the parents who are worried, when they're sitting on the sidelines watching these hard hits, what gives them comfort as they're going through this?
Well, as we mentioned yesterday, there's actually, at least from what we can tell, not a ton of concussions in youth football. They don't hit as hard. It's not as many as, say, high school or college, but they still are certainly there. Another thing that gives parents comfort, at least with what the Millard Football League is, obviously each league is a little bit different, but a coach will start with the group in third grade, and he'll go to fourth grade, fifth grade, he'll accelerate up until they're done in eighth grade. So by the end of it, you've been with the coach over half a decade at that point. You have a lot of trust in what he's doing, and if obviously things went wrong, you can maybe switch up the coaches at some point. So that's what I heard, is they like the fact that the coaches stick with them, and they like their coaches in general.
Now, you talked about how these concussions are rare. Is there any thought, though, I mean, these are young developing brains, any thought that it might be worse for a young child to get a concussion?
Yeah, we're going to get into this a little bit on Friday, but where we focus kind of on the scientific side where we are now. But it looks like there's kind of two series of thoughts, and as you might imagine, there's no clear yes or no answer on this yet. The two schools of thought are essentially, one, yes, this is a developing brain, and it jumbles up the brain that can't be good for some kid that is developing. But the other school of thought is, well, this is a brain that is developing. It's malleable. It can move around a little bit. It might be able to take the hits a little bit better than, you know, an NFL player with an adult brain that is fully developed. So time will tell on that, I guess.
Would you say at this point this is a major conversation point for parents?
At least the ones I talked to, and again, I mean, I'm thinking of parents on the sidelines. They're not really talking about, you know, is Johnny going to get a concussion today or things of that nature. The one parent told me that they're much more worried about the game itself, the strategy, how the kids are developing, than whether or not their kid is actually going to get physically hurt or not. That's, I think, something that they're probably just trying to not think about, quite frankly.
Week-long series. What can we expect next?
Tomorrow, we are looking at high school football. This is kind of what prompted the series in the first place, is I knew that high school numbers have gone down. We got the official numbers. It looks like they've gone down about 18% in the last 15 years. So clearly kids are playing less football. Now, is it just on concussions? I guess you'll never really know for sure, but it's certainly hitting the high school game a little bit, and we're going to explore that. We're going to explore that topic. I went to an Omaha high school, and they're doing things differently that even surprised me when I showed up to practice. So that's what we're going to focus on tomorrow.
Look forward to that. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Jenny.
And you can find more about concussions, youth football, and the possible impact on players on our website, 3newsnow.com. And we want to hear from you, parents, potential parents. On Facebook, we are asking, would you allow your child to play football? So far, 69% say yes, it's safe. 31% say no, it's dangerous. We'll be right back.